Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute, but I saw everybody on Instagram and on YouTube, all the teachers have started their haul videos. And while I'm still a pre-service teacher, this is going to be my last year of college. I like shopping too, and I got a few things for my future classroom based on the age group that I think I want to be teaching, which is either 3rd, 4th, or 5th graders. Could be a little older or younger depending what's open at the time of my getting my degree and being hired for things. But based on that, I have a few things that I picked out from both Target and Goodwill that I want to share with you all, just as a little fun end of summer video for you all amidst this hectic time that we're in. So without further ado, I'm going to start off with what I got from Goodwill, and then we'll go to Target. So, Goodwill, something that I like doing, which is not good for my budget, but something I love doing is looking through the books at Goodwill, because you can find awesome deals on some pretty great reads. So, I picked out 4 books for my library. 2 of them were the color of the day, and so, or one of them was the color of the day, the other 2 were only $2. So, I think, yeah, the color of the day was 3, so it would have been $1.50. So, I picked out a few favorites. One thing, with all of the Black Lives Matter awareness right now, it's really had me thinking about what I want to put in my library. And so, while I was at Goodwill, I was specifically looking for some books that were a little bit more diverse than the ones that I personally enjoy reading, because I know that I have my own biases. Obviously, I have preferences in my reading that I don't want to have my book collection only be my favorites, because my students are going to have a wide variety of interests. So while I do want to have books in my library be ones that I personally think are quality reads, and ones that I've read myself and I know the content of, I do want to offer them a wide variety of choices, with genres and main characters and topics. So that's kind of reflected in what I picked out. So I'm going to start with 2 books that I personally read before and enjoyed. So Just Ella. I'm going to reread this one as I'm rereading all of the books that I have collected, which is about 3 boxes for my library, because I personally really feel that as a teacher it's my responsibility to know what's in my collection, and have it reflect things that I want my students to enjoy. Controversial books, like there might be a few in there, but I want to know what's in them, so if a parent asks a question about a book a child's reading, or if a student wants to know what book they should read next, I can recommend any book in my library and feel comfortable with that. And so that's not me censoring things, it's more of me giving my students quality choices, since they'll also have the school library, which has other choices for them too. So books in my library are ones that either I've read myself, or I've had recommended to me by people that I trust. So the first book is Just Ella, and so this book is one of my favorites from when I was younger. It's like a take on Cinderella after she meets her prince. What happens at the castle afterwards, which isn't the fairy tale ending she expected. And so I feel like it's a really good read, especially for older elementary, middle school age. I'm going to reread it because I want to see it from eyes of me as an older person than just me as a younger person remembering the things that I liked about it. So I will be rereading that one. The next book that I picked out was The Royal Diaries, Eleanor. So this is a historical fiction, but this series in particular is a diary kind of written based on the life of different royals. This series specifically is mostly females, so it's female royals. I think there's one that's men too, but I have another one in my collection that I enjoyed, so I will be adding this one. I remember reading it. I don't remember a lot about it, so I'll probably reread this one as well, just so that I remember a little bit about her as well. But that's my second book. And I was surprised that this is only $2 because it is a hardcover, which usually hardcovers are a little bit more expensive. But it looks to be in really great shape, and I'm super excited. But I love this series and just these books in general. It just gives some historical perspective, and they're a fun way to dive into different time periods. So then the next one that I have is Steal Away Home by Lois Ruby. And I've just started reading this. I'm about halfway through. I started reading it yesterday. And the premise of this is that, well, I'll just read the back for you. When 12-year-old Dana Shannon starts to strip away wallpaper in her family's old house, she's unprepared for the surprise that awaits her. A hidden room containing a human skeleton. How did such a thing get there, and why was the tiny room sealed up? With the help of a diary found in the room, Dana learns her house was once a station on the Underground Railroad. The young woman whose remains Dana discovered was Lisbeth Charles, a conductor and former slave. As the scene shifts between Dana's world and 1856, the story of the families that lived in the house unfolds. But as pieces of the puzzle begin to fall into place, one haunting question remains: why did Lisbeth Charles die? And so this one it's an older book. A couple awards were awarded this one, it says. So 1996 IRA Young Adult's Choice, and then 1995 Notable Children's Trade Book in the Field of Social Studies. And so I picked this one up because it looked interesting, something that I might have picked up as a child. It's a historical fiction. It's something a little bit more diverse than my other collection items have been, and something that I might be teaching on in the future. So I felt it was important to look into this one. It just seemed like a really interesting read. So as soon as I finish it, I'll be deciding if I want to add it to my classroom library. So that's one. And then the other one I had was Remember My Name by Sarah H. Banks. And this one's a smaller read. And so I picked ones like this that were a little bit easier to read, just in case I have third grade. And also because students in 5th grade, obviously there are some that might be a little bit behind in their reading, but sometimes some of those really proficient readers just want a fun read to do during their choice reading time. I know I was a child who would get through my classwork as quickly as possible so that I could read my book, and I loved just looking for a new book. So I wanted to have some different things historically that seemed quality. I have to read this one to see how it is, but I'll read the back of this one as well. The Trail of Tears. Now that Annie Rising Fawn is 11 years old, her Cherokee grandmother feels it is time for Annie to get a real education. To do this, Annie must leave the only home she's ever known, Star Mountain, and go live with her uncle, William Blackfeather, a wealthy Cherokee land and slave owner. In her heart, Annie knows her life will never be the same. Before leaving, Annie buries her doll in her favorite place, a sunflower house her Scottish father built for her. With the doll, she buries her Cherokee name, Agan Agley. But no one could ever imagine how much life was going to change for Annie and her people, the Cherokee Nation. Annie soon finds herself caught up in one of the most shameful episodes in American history, the American removal of 1838. So, obviously, these two are touchy topics in American history, something that we should be teaching our kids about, and I think it's important to have books representing time periods where weird things happened that shouldn't have happened, but that we can educate our kids from different perspectives. So I'm excited to read this one. Usually books are gauged toward the age group of the person in them. So this one, she's 11 years old, so that's about that age range. I think this one, the girl's 12 years old, so about the same age. So it's right there targeted towards students who would be in my classes. So those 4 are the books that I picked up from Goodwill. Now moving on from those heavy topics to some of the fun things that I found at Target. You may have seen them in other hauls. I apologize if you have, but I'm really excited. So the first thing is that I got this treasure chest. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing as a teacher is having themes every year. And one of the themes that I have a lot of stuff for, thanks to my aunt who retired from teaching but was a 4th grade teacher, one of the themes stuff that she gave me was for under the sea or ocean theme. And so I think a treasure chest goes really well. But beyond that, I can use this every year as a prize bin if I'm doing rewards for something, where maybe for reading or for bringing back homework, kids can pick out something special from the prize box. So it's a great size. It's cute. I'm excited. And so a couple things are in there that I put in there. So the first thing is I got these. So they're little flags and it says about me, name. So the kids can write their name there. And then there's 5 questions. So favorite colors. They can color their rainbow with their favorite colors and maybe write it underneath. Favorite TV show, movie. A little speech bubble here. Favorite foods. Favorite sweets. Favorite subject. And so since I'm going into student teaching, I might use these then. Otherwise, I can use them in my first year of teaching. But I can keep one separate. Maybe add some Sharpie as a border. And then make copies of these and use them in the future as well. My aunt had this suggestion of asking other questions on the back. Maybe something that my teacher should know about me or something along those lines. And then it's on the back where no one can see, but I can hang these up after taking note of those things. So that is one of the things that I picked up from Target. It was in the $1 spot. So just head over and check those out. This one is also $1. They're little erasers, and they're just little ice cream kind of things, popsicles, in a few different colors. And so I'm super excited about these. I have like a winter set of erasers as well, but these are fun for summer, either in the beginning of the school year or the end. I just love little erasers that are shaped as things because they're a fun prize that you can hand out to kids who are doing good work. Just pop one on everyone's desk that they can just earn. Or you can use them as like bingo markers or something if you're doing a class game or review game that are super easy just to do it and then collect them at the end. Obviously not during COVID times because we don't want to share those, but hopefully someday in the future I can use that for these. So those are the 3 things that I got there. Then there was one other thing that was larger, so I couldn't put it up there, but I'm so super excited about this. So I picked this up. It was, I believe, $8, $7. So this is $7. They're dry erase activity blotter. Yep, blotter. That's what it says. So you can hang this up on your wall and then put it on an easel to use it. But there's all of these different styles. So there's line paper, there's graph paper, there's like informative writing, topic triangle, what's the timeline, plan your story, 5 W's chart, make predictions, draw conclusions, sequence chain, creative characters, opinions, draw conclusions, outline, cause and effect. And so I can use this for all kinds of things. For example, graphing, obviously teaching how to graph, I can do that. Cause and effect would be a great one for science. I'm really excited about the lined paper because if I'm doing letter writing with students, it's super easy to just do a practice one and like show them where to write things on their lined paper if that's what we're using. Or any other kind of writing. And so this is something I'm super excited for. They had a couple other options, and so if this isn't exactly what you're looking for, there was another option at Target, but I'm so excited because it's dry erase. You can just do it in like a small group or in a circle while you're sitting down with the kids, and it's just perfect. So I'm super excited for this. I'm going to leave it in the packaging until I do get to my classroom someday, but I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, like it, comment down below. your favorite item from this haul, maybe what kind of books you're looking for your classroom, or your favorite thing to shop for when it's back to school time. Then subscribe to my channel so you catch more videos from me. I do have an occasional vlog that pops up on here, but a lot of times I give you all stuff from my TPT store, like how to use it or freebies, and it's just a good time. So subscribe, check me out on Instagram at @awannabefrizzle, because Miss Frizzle is great and my role model as a teacher, because we're supposed to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy in the schools, and that's what we're gonna do. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!